Like it or not, believe it or not, our hair is indelibly linked to our identity. And whether we love our hair or struggle with the changes our hair goes through, it impacts who we are as a person and how we present ourselves to the world. If you don't believe me, try having a bad hair day and think about how that makes you feel. Today on the show, we're going to talk about hair and our confidence. So I have two guests to share with you their transition and how they were able to build their confidence. So don't go anywhere. This is a really important show. So stay tuned. Welcome to Unleash Your Audacious Confidence on Win-Win Women TV. This show is all about sharing the tips, tools, and techniques that will allow you to step boldly in the direction of your dreams, despite your feelings, fears, or past failures, to imagine what's possible for yourself and live the life you deserve. Well, hello, and welcome to the Unleash Your Audacious Confidence show. I'm your host, Alicia Couri, and I am so thrilled to have this show today. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's here. Before we get to the meat and potatoes of our show, I just want to encourage you to go to winwinwomen.com. Go check it out. There are so many show hosts that are delivering just absolutely awesome content that will help you as a woman grow and thrive. And it's a community of women. So they have local events. You can find out more on winwinwomen.com. So go check it out. And then today on our show, on this episode, we're talking all about hair. Like I said in the intro, whether you believe it or not, like it or not, our hair is a part of our identity, and it really helps us feel more of who we are. And the great thing about hair is we can keep changing it if we want. But I really want to talk about transitions. I want to talk about transitioning your hair through the stages of life. And today on the show, I have two guests. So we're doing like a panel today. The three of us are going to talk about the transitions that we're going through. I would like to invite Miss Yvonne Rolle-Watts and Miss Rory Lee. So Yvonne Rolle-Watts, she is a brave and amazing woman who is a 5-year cancer survivor. It's ovarian cancer survivor. And then Miss Rory Lee, she is, beauty professional. But we want to talk about hair today, and we're talking about transitioning. So welcome to the show, ladies. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
Thank you for having me.
So, I talked in the intro about it being our hair being so connected to who we are and our identity. Before you went into your transition, both of you, I just wanted to ask you, what did you feel about your hair? What was your belief about your hair? I'll start with Yvonne.
For me, I felt that my hair was my staple. I was at the hairdresser weekly, without fail.
Yeah.
If I was running late, I would call my hairdresser and I'm like, okay, you have to fit me in. I'm running late, but I would not miss a hair appointment at all.
Wow. How about you, Rory?
Well, I was in the salon, no exaggerating, every 10 days, coloring my roots. I started with gray streaks and silver streaks here at 16 years old.
Wow.
And for years, I wore the short Halle Berry haircut. And then in the 90s, I decided I would let it go natural. And I couldn't believe how much silver I had as a 30-something-year-old. And of course, I felt very awkward, and that I needed my dark hair, and I let it grow long. And the reason why I felt awkward was because I was so young with white hair, and back then it was not popular.
Right.
And it wasn't until about 10 years ago that I made the decision to live my life with authenticity. That's what my entire brand stands for: natural beauty, beauty from within. And being able to embrace the fact that genetically I had white hair. And so I started lightening and lifting it, but I wanted to do it in a natural manner because everything about my entire beauty brand stands for natural beauty.
Wow. Okay. Wow, ladies. That's amazing. My hair story started when I was about 3 years old. And my mother cut off all my hair. Yvonne, she cut it off so it was like almost bald, not quite, almost there. Because she said to me, and I remember this from a 3-year-old because I knew why I had short hair as a child. And she said that my hair was as unruly as I was and nothing could tame it. She was sick and tired of trying to comb my hair. And then 2 seconds later, it was like, so my belief about my hair was always that it was unruly, untamable. And so the natural state of my hair was unacceptable. That's what I believed. So the minute I could start, so, when I was 12, I remember pressing it out and I loved the look of it pressed out. And so by the time I was able to start relaxing it, as long as she allowed me to relax it, that's it. I started relaxing my hair and I didn't stop until more recently because of some health situations. And so I grew up believing that my hair was just, nobody will love my hair. Nobody will like it. So why should I like it? Right. So that was my hair story growing up. And so part of even the way my children now is I try to encourage them to love their hair, even when they're having a bad hair day. No, I try to encourage them to love it because I know how it impacted me as a child having hair that I didn't love. So Yvonne, we talked earlier that, you're a cancer survivor. You're being in the salon every week without fail, making sure that your due was done, right? That you were on point every week.
Every week.
What was it like when you knew the treatment that you were going to have to go through would now impact the hair that you have?
So prior to my cancer diagnosis, I had cut my hair short. So I was still in the salon because I was dyeing it. And I was listening to Rory's story because I wanted my hair platinum. I wanted my hair that color, white. I just remember my grandmother had the prettiest, whitest hair, and I wanted my hair like my grandmother, but I had already cut it short. So it was already short, but I still was in the salon every week dyeing my hair. I wasn't getting perm to straighten it, but perm more to curl it.
Okay.
And dye it. So I was getting like a curl and dye. Again, still every week.
Girl, I was dying too. I was like,
listen,
get rid of the gray, get rid of the gray.
And it's crazy because I wanted it platinum to try to hide the gray because the gray were coming faster than I was comfortable with. So I'm thinking if I can get it platinum or I can get it blonde, you wouldn't see the gray as much.
Right. That's you, Rory, right?
Okay.
That's my story. Yes.
You wouldn't see the gray as much. So now I fast forward, I get my diagnosis and my oncologist tells me everything that I'm going to go through. And of course, she mentions my hair. It didn't really sink initially until I was in the mirror one day and I rubbed my hand across my short platinum blonde hair and got a handful of hair. And it kind of cut my breath. I was like, oh, it's starting to happen because I had my first chemo treatment. So I call my husband and I come downstairs with my hands full of hair. My eyes are wide. I didn't cry. And he said, okay, it's time. Let's go. Get the chair, get the towel. And he shaved my head. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, this is not so bad. And thank God for India Ari. I give her props. I'm not my hair. And I just kept playing that song and playing that song, and I was okay. What was more devastating about losing my hair was losing my eyelashes.
Mm.
Don't equate chemo with losing all of your hair.
Mhm.
So
Eyebrows, eyelashes,
my
everything.
eyelashes went, and that's
Yeah.
when it hit me. You are truly bald, not
Mm.
Wow.
just the top of your head, your eyelashes, your eyebrows. So I had to readjust, and I said, okay, I have to make something good out of this. So, okay, I don't have to wax my lips anymore. I don't have to wax my chins anymore. I don't have to wax. Okay. So I literally turned that into a positive.
Finding the gratitude. Yeah.
I did. I found the gratitude in it. I didn't have to worry about waxing. That was it.
Mm.
I was like, okay, I can throw all this wax product away. I'm good. And then I, started finding little tips to try to at least have some face
Mm.
and not just a blank,
That
Yeah.
beauty.
face
Because
because I
Rory
don't.
and I talked about, we had a show on beauty because both of us are makeup artists and talked about your eyebrows frame your face,
Yes.
but you didn't have any.
The blessing is though, I had just right before my treatment had my eyebrows tattooed on, and I had
Mm.
gone back for
To
a
refill.
fill-in. So I had eyebrows, but nothing else.
Okay.
Yes, I had eyebrows, but I had nothing else. So I always looked like I was happy because I had nothing else. But I did have eyebrows.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did have eyebrows. And, I have a very strong faith base. And I ran into a woman. Well, she actually was the proprietor where I purchased where my fruits and vegetables. And I went in after my first treatment, and she looked at me, she pulled me to the side and she said, Yvonne, are you going through chemo? And I said, yes. She said, I know because I'm a survivor and I know the look.
Mm.
She said, let me give you a tip. Take your eyebrow pencil and outline your eyes on the bottom. It will appear that you have hair. And I said, really? She said, yeah, just take your eyebrow pencil and outline the bottom of your eyes and you'll be fine. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. God, I thank you because you put her right in my place. So I would put my little eyeliner on the bottom and I had my little tattoos on and I was fine. I was
Nice.
fine.
Yep.
Very nice. I remember a friend of mine and Rory, she had massive curly hair. And she was going to start chemo, and she asked me to come and cut her hair for her because she wanted to donate it before it got damaged with chemo, before, she could now use it to donate for Locks of Love. And then, so we shaved it before she started taking chemo treatments so that
Mm.
she didn't have to, she's like, I don't want to have to, pull and see clumps of hair coming out. She's
Mhm.
like, I don't want to do that. She was very proactive and she's like, I want to be in control of this. I don't want it to devastate me in that way. So in the hospital room, I came and we cut it. My kids and we went there and prayed over her and cut her hair and filled it up and donated it and then shaved her head.
Right.
But yeah.
I felt like I was on my journey to getting unhealthy because I was touching up my roots on every 10 to 14 day basis, mostly every 10 days, because the minute with having very dark hair and the
Mhm.
minute I started seeing the white roots come out, it looked like I was bald. So I would immediately go there and I had a recurring appointment. But
Mhm.
additionally, because there were many days when not only did I color my hair, but I roller set it and sat under the dryer, and then I blow dried it out, and then I flat ironed it out or curled it. Not me, like I was in the salon like literally the entire
24
day.
hours.
Yeah, and I felt like I was on the path to becoming unhealthy because a lot of women don't realize, or they know it, but then it doesn't come to their consciousness that our skin is a living organ, and the things that we put on our scalp, it's a living organ, and it permeates into our blood cells, it permeates into our skin, our brain. So whether it's dyes, relaxers, heat treatments, chemicals, anything that's not, plant-based or healthy, is adversely on the unhealthy side. And I wanted to, as I had mentioned, like even with my nonprofit initiative and talking to the young ladies about beauty coming in all hues and beauty is from within, I wanted to live that life where I was not only just talking the talk, but walking the walk. So why am I coloring my hair and spending an entire day going through all of these processes with changing the way that God made my hair when I might as well just go ahead and be natural? And I did it in a slow process because pulling the dye out of your hair without damaging the cuticle of the hair takes a while. You just can't go from dark brown to platinum blonde all at once without risking like your hair dropping out. So I took my time and lightened and lifted in several different phases and colors and gently transitioned to where it was lighting up that I was coloring this part titanium silver and letting my roots grow out naturally. And you know what? By the time the pandemic hit, I was like smooth sailing because there was no way I was going to a salon anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when I was pregnant with each one of my children, my hair would grow so full and, all those hormones coursing through your body. So women, when you're pregnant, your hair gets so lush and thick and full. And then after the baby, it was like shedding. I was like, what is going on? What is wrong with my hair? And thinking that it's thinning out after the baby, but it actually you're just losing because of the changes in your hormones, the hair event, it comes out. So even that, people don't really tell you about that post pregnancy, what to expect with your hair, because your hair can start falling out after you give birth. And you think something's wrong when handfuls of your hair is falling out.
Right.
But it's just that natural, again, the hormone shifting and that natural process happening with your hair. So with me, it'll almost be a year now that I have been crochet braiding my hair, trying to protect my hair so that I can eventually cut all of the relaxed hair out and start accepting. I'm not there yet. I'm still working on it, accepting what my natural hair looks like. So, that whole process, my middle daughter keeps telling me, "Oh, but it's so beautiful, Mom. It's so beautiful." Whenever I take the braids out to redo it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet."
It's a journey, and you may
Yeah.
look in the mirror and say, "What the heck am I doing?" I mean, I did that so many days. What am I doing? I want to go back. But you know what? As you begin to embrace it, you begin to come and love what it looks like because it's all about what's inside out. When you feel beautiful from the inside out, it doesn't matter what's on the outside. God made us all different for a reason. It doesn't mean that one person is any less beautiful or that one person's hair texture or hair type is any less beautiful than the other. One of the things you'll realize is as you stop doing that and you start using natural plant-based products to take care of your hair, because this is protein. This is an extension of the skin as it dies and as it grows out. That's what hair is. Then the texture will also begin to change if you're using the right products. Like my hair was never this curly, when it was dark because I blow dried and put so many heat and so many products and so many dyes on it that I never even realized. And it takes time. It does take time. So you've got to be, you got to be present to the moment and love it and have some fun with it and know that you are beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
I'm allowing it to grow out. Yes.
Two things happened when my husband and I, we were going to our first social event with me being bald. So I was a little nervous because I had just gone to my cancer treatments and home, cancer treatments and home. Now I'm actually going out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dressed up, a little and I'm not a big makeup wearer. I've never been. Little bit. So now I'm going out. And we get to the event, and there was a woman there, and I noticed her just kind of staring. So I'm like, oh boy, okay, because I'm used to children staring, but I wasn't used to adults.
Mm.
And she came over and she said, may I take your picture? And I said, she said, let me explain. She said, I have a 6-year-old daughter who has alopecia,
Mm.
and I would like to show her someone who looks like her and how
Wow.
beautiful you are and how beautiful she is. Well, of course, we were both standing there with tears.
Yes.
Yes.
And I said, absolutely, absolutely. And I said, take my number if she needs to talk to me. She said, because of course she's sick, she's conscious of, not having hair and it's falling out. But I need her to see just how beautiful she's going to be.
Mm.
I was done. I was
Yeah.
absolutely done. But that also helped because at that point, I didn't care at the event because she just validated.
She just lifted you up.
That
Yeah.
was that was it. I was good. I strutted around with my head up. I was fine.
Nice. And so the decision to stay, not grow your hair back, it's like, what was that like for you? I know you showed us some visuals,
Right. So
but you didn't
I
share
have
that.
my water bottle with my bald and beautiful. And there is a bald group on Facebook that I joined immediately. Most of the women have alopecia, but there are a few of us that are cancer survivors. But for me, it reminds me of my fight. I
Mm.
cannot allow myself to relax to the point. We don't know, cancer runs very rapid in my family amongst women.
Mm.
Mm.
So we never know if it's going to return, if it's going to come back. Me remaining bald is my way of continuing to fight my fight,
Mm.
continue to do what I need to do to prayerfully not give it a home to come back to.
Mm.
Because ovarian cancer, which is what my mother died from, is not easily detectable.
Mm.
So God had a plan for me because not only did they detect mine early, stage 1, that's unheard of.
Mm.
That is unheard of. But I still, because of ovarian cancer, I still had to do the chemo. But when I look in the mirror, okay, Yvonne, you cannot relax. You cannot go back to the things that you were doing, just taking it for granted. And, again, I still struggle with some of the eating, but I'm nowhere near where I was.
Mm-hmm.
But the foods that we put in our body. And I was listening to you, Roy, when you was talking about, the chemicals. I was the perm queen, the perm dye queen.
Mm-hmm.
And, going back to when we permed, and I know there are different ages online, when we had to really base your scalp to put the perm on. They didn't have no
Like
the perm without
Vaseline,
the base.
slather that Vaseline
You put
on.
that Vaseline and that grease on there because that
And the
perm
grease
would
on your
burn you.
scalp,
Okay.
burn.
So from there, and my mother allowed me to start getting perms at 14. So from 14 years old until my cancer diagnosis in my 60s, perming my hair, dyeing my hair.
Mm.
I said, okay, not doing that, not doing that. And then I sat down one day and calculated all the money I'm saving. And I love my hairdresser. We've been together. My hairdresser and I've been together when we were both in our 20s.
Wow.
She didn't have her son, and he's now in his 30s. So we've
Wow.
been together a long time, and I love her. However, the amount of money that I realized I was saving, I said, okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Nice.
don't intend
Yeah,
to go
it's all
back.
about being healthy. It's all about making sure and making a conscious effort to eat whole, WHOLE, whole type
Mhm.
foods, foods that are even not everybody lives on a plant-based diet like I do. but at least, be aware, read the labels, be aware of what you're putting in your body, be aware of reading the labels of what you're putting on your skin, what you're putting in your hair. I mean, or on your head for that matter, because all of that plays a part in us remaining healthy.
Right.
And I would love to get together with you. Today is National Lipstick Day. I know we're talking about hair, but let's talk about lipstick. I would love to get together with you, Yvonne. Make sure I get your address. I'm going to send
Yes.
you a little treat because in 2 or 3 little products, I can show you how to really amplify that natural beauty that you have, that glow that you have.
I appreciate
Nice.
it. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. That's why
Yes.
I do these shows, bring women together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said, Yvonne, that it takes a village. It takes a village and it takes patience to shift our mind and our heart to seeing and accepting the beauty that is within us, and how we perceive and see ourselves. Your village started with your husband,
Yes.
right? Sticking with
Yes.
you, and then other women supporting you, and even the person that came up to you and asked to take your picture. We have to be supportive of each other and not like so critical of one another when we are transitioning into a new look.
Right.
Someone might be transitioning into a new look and it's very sensitive for them, and if you criticize that or you say something to them just in the wrong way, a wrong look, it could really set them back. So we have to be aware of even our own words and how we approach people that might be transitioning or going through something. In the final minutes that we have, and I know the time goes by so quickly, ladies, is there anything else you want to share about your hair journey and really coming to accept what your hair is and the beauty that your hair is?
A quick story, another quick story. I had a church member ask me, happened to be a man, when are you going to let your hair grow back? I said, I'm not. But why? You had such beautiful hair and I loved you with your hair. I said, let me ask you something. Did my hair change my heart? Is my heart the same person that you met?
Mm.
And he looked at me and I said, because if my hair changed my heart, then I have to rethink this. But I'm the same person without hair. So does it really matter that I don't have hair? And he stood there and he said, no, it doesn't, because you are a beautiful person with or without your hair. I said, that's my point. My hair doesn't make me. My heart didn't change at all.
Love it.
Yeah.
And he never asked me that again, and I'm fine.
Good. I love that answer. I love it. Rory, is there any last words you wanted to share?
I am glad and I'm very grateful that I trusted the process and that I took the time and that I was patient with, with my inner heart and following God's voice and going natural, because I didn't know during this past decade that I would wind up like this. But I get compliments all the time and I feel good. I feel healthy about the fact that my hair is healthy and I'm healthy. I feel good about the fact that I truly am, walking the walk of natural beauty and not just letting it be a slogan or a hashtag,
Right.
for my brand and for my makeup line.
Right.
Natural beauty is head to toe, inside and out.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
And for me, I am planning that chop, chop, chop of all the relaxed hair pretty soon. I don't know, I might publicize it. I don't know, me, I might do it in front of the cameras, but I am looking forward to seeing what my hair really does look like after all these years, and embracing it and loving it and finding love for the texture and just what it is and how I look with it, because I have no idea how I'm going to look with it. I've had short hair, I've had long hair, I prefer long hair than short hair, but you know, as it's growing out, it may be short for a while. Ladies, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so open, so brave, and just, you know, helping us find ways to love who we are from the inside, love ourselves, and not have our hair be a define, like you said, Yvonne, our heart. Like, you know, our heart needs to define who we are, not our outward being, and not our.
Right.
So thank you all for coming. Those of you who are in our studio audience, I invite you to stick around. We're going to shut down the show and then have a conversation. But for those of you watching, thank you so much for joining us. And you're invited to come into our studio audience at any time. Just go connect with me, alicia360.com, so you can find out when our next show is and what the topic is. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. But I need to say goodbye now. So I just want to encourage you to be bold, to be brave, and every day to do one thing to step out with audacious confidence. And I'll see you next time on another episode of Unleash Your Audacious Confidence here on Win Win Women TV. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good one.